So what I want to talk about today is something that a lot of people are going to find strange. Maybe, I don't really know. I feel like I'm the only person that feels this way, and I know that's not true because I'm generalizing, but it's because of the way I grew up and the way I see my life playing out. And I want to explain why I absolutely hate the holidays. Like, I cannot stand November and December. Absolutely hate the holidays. And before you downvote and you click off and you're like, this guy is as stupid as face, stupid face guy, let me explain what I mean by that. Because a lot of things attribute to how I feel that way. Okay? So I grew up not wealthy. I grew up, in a kind of a trailer park situation. At great parents. I got great parents. That's one thing I can get out of the way right away. But even at a young age, I feel like I noticed right away that Christmas, for example, we'll start off with Christmas. Christmas is only about gifts and getting gifts and making someone happy, I guess, or mad based on what you did not get them. Okay, so I would see friends get really mad at their parents and yell at them because they didn't get what they want, or vice versa, see an adult do the same thing. And at the age of 10 or 11, this didn't make sense to me, because if I just got like a PS1 game or a Dreamcast game, that was it. I didn't care about anything else. I just wanted to play my game. But I noticed right away that it's not what it's about. It's not what it's about. And I always thought that was weird, and that gets solidified a little bit further in the video, but that's one thing that I noticed right away about Christmas. But starting with Thanksgiving, because it comes first, Thanksgiving was like probably the coolest thing I ever experienced as a young person. But I think Thanksgiving being so great when I was younger kind of ruined it for me when I was older. So when I was younger, we would meet at my grandma Shelby's house, and it would just be this big spectacle of just people everywhere. And it might have seemed bigger because I was a tiny little baby guy. I was a short little big-headed kid. Maybe it seemed more extravagant than it was, but I mean, every one of my cousins, a dozen people, their parents, all my aunts and uncles, all my grandparents, everybody possible was there, and it just seemed really cool. And it stopped being like that right away. And I feel like you can agree maybe to this in some aspect, because my Aunt Connie passed away when I was around 11 years old. When that happened, she was kind of the glue that held that part of that family together, because she lived an hour away, and she was the daughter of my mom's mom. So when she passed away, they did their own thing, her family, and my grandma completely stopped doing it because my grandma had a stroke from grief, and that was pretty much the end of that. She didn't want to plan it. She didn't want to throw it anymore. So it kind of moved to my other grandma, my dad's mother. And we went over there, and it was noticeably smaller. No more aunts and uncles. One uncle on my father's side. All the cousins are gone at this point. It's just me and my family and a few, my uncle and, my grandma. That's pretty much it. And it kind of stayed that way for a couple years. And then we get into why everything got worse right away. And you start to see the worst part of humanity right away. And I started working retail. And I worked retail for 11 years. But when you work retail, you find out immediately, and I mean immediately, that people are nightmarish and awful, and we probably should just accept the first meteor that comes at us with open arms. Because I'm telling you, if you work retail, people come in on Thanksgiving Day when you're working, or Black Friday. They do not give a damn that you're working. And it's an awful time to work because the stress is at its peak, the company's mad at you, everybody's mad at you, and you got a line about 12 hours long and it never stops. Okay, say what you want about working anywhere, but that's an awful feeling because you're not getting anywhere, and every single person in line is mad because you are ruining their their child's Christmas. The person behind the register. That's the person ruining everything. Not the fact that they waited to the last second. It's not on them. It's on you. Okay? And that's kind of what made that so terrible. And customers always say the same thing. They'll be like, man, it really sucks that you have to work today. And I'm like, hey, you're the reason I'm here. If you didn't come in here, I probably wouldn't be here. And it's like, how dare you say that to me? Okay? So the entire environment around working retail through Thanksgiving and through Christmas completely destroyed those holidays for me forever. And they weren't really in a good light anyway, because you see this weird mortality thing where your family is getting smaller and smaller, and they start caring less and less. So everybody stops caring. But eventually I got out of retail and, started doing other things, and I got to, try to jump back into the whole holiday thing. And I noticed right away that it was me, recently, it was me, my grandma, and, both of my grandmas, and a handful of family members that are immediate. And that's it. No one else. It's gone. And then you notice, people start disappearing more. Both of my grandmothers passed away within 2 months of each other back in 2019. And we haven't really had a Thanksgiving since then that feels like anything. And it's to the point now where I don't think we haven't even had a Thanksgiving in 2 years. And I don't, maybe that makes me hate the holiday. I don't know. Maybe that makes me mad that I didn't get a chance for a decade. I missed it for a decade because of retail. Yeah, I feel like I would see it in a more positive light if I didn't choose a stupid company that didn't care about me over my family. And I think I'm more mad at myself, and I take it out on holidays. But that's the kicker, because as soon as I got the chance to experience it, it was already gone. I'm in my 30s now, and I feel like that's the main reason why I'm jaded against holidays, because they'll never be the same again. I went to another family holiday a couple years ago, and it kind of seemed, vibrant, and it just made me that much more angry that I missed it. And it's frustrating. And I can only speak to my personal experiences. I can't speak to anybody else's. Other people have different opinions, but that's just my opinion. That's why I hate holidays. Because they were taken from me. It was my choice, though. So it was my choice, so I own that. But that's my explanation. There you go. That's my explanation. I feel like that's a bad take. I feel like that's that's the main bad take, is that I just don't like them. I just don't like them anymore. I don't like to think about it anymore. Okay? And I know a lot of people are still working retail, and it's a nightmare. And I know you feel probably pretty similar during those times of years, but I have friends that worked at stores down the road that stopped working in retail. And they love it. They love holidays again. And I'm like, why can't I be like that? What the hell's wrong with me? All I can do is think about my past. My wife left in December of 2016. It all culminates into this big-ass ball of hate. And it's just depression for 2 whole damn months. And it's unfair. And I brought it all on myself, but it's unfair. So it's it's my fault. It's a dumb video, right? It's a dumb video. It's like, why you hate holidays? And it's like, because I'm a dumbass. That's why I hate That's the explanation that I'm giving to you right now. So if I can give you any advice, it would be, if your company tries to make you work on Thanksgiving or Christmas or the day damn after, and they say you have to choose our job over your family, kindly tell them to F off and walk the hell out, because it's not worth it. I'd give anything to have those 10 years back, to where I could experience it with people that I'll never see again. because I chose a damn stupid game store over it. A game store that doesn't give a damn if I live or die. And I can never change that. So, if your company asks you to work, tell them get the hell out your face. You go and party with your uncle and tell stories about that one time when he was in Vietnam, and he fisted his, you know what I'm saying? It's a personal story. I can't really get into it.